All right, welcome everybody to Wednesday Night Yin. We are going to start on our back, so come there whenever you're ready. Let yourself just arrive. Say, hey, it's Yin night. So let yourself just relax here, start to feel heavy. Since it's Yin, you don't need to control your breath like we do in a flow class. But you still do want to become aware of it. Find the rhythm of it. And just kind of start to follow the rhythm of your breath. So as you're lying here, as we're centering, get that focus on your breath. So notice your inhales and your exhales. How deep they are, how shallow they are, how fast or how slow they come. Which one's longer, your inhale or your exhale? You feel that coolness in your nose as you inhale. You feel that warmth in the back of your throat as you exhale. Try to become aware of all of that. It will ground you in this present moment. And then your body's ready to go when those sensations start to come. Your body and your mind are both right here and now. You can get the most out of your practice. And when you're ready to start moving here, what you're going to do is take your feet and put them on the ground. And then bring them about hip-width distance apart, or a little bit wider even, right? So that your pinky toes are kind of at the edges of your mat. Let your arms go out to that T position. Come sideways around that, you can see me a little better. And you're just going to let your legs fall to the right. And then pull them back up to center. Then fall to the left. So you're just windshield wiping your legs, right? Both knees are moving at the same time. You're not stacking because you've got that wide stance with your feet. But start to open up your spine and your hips a little bit. Just let it feel good for a few more breaths. And then from there, you're going to take your knees, hug them all the way into your chest. As you hug your knees into your chest, you just take the hands to the crease of your knees, and you're going to rock yourself up into an easy seated position, right? So that's that crisscross position. Now, you're going to put whichever leg you want to in front right now. You can put your right leg or your left leg, whichever one's more comfortable to you, because we're going to do this next little part, twice, right? Once on each leg. Now, if you're not comfortable here in crisscross, right, the whole time, you can always kick one leg out, right? And the next time, you'll kick the other leg out, right? It doesn't matter which leg, right leg, left leg. If you need to have both legs out, you can have both legs out. This is mainly about the hips and the arms, right? We'll just add a little bit on to the legs when we give it that crisscross. All right, so when you're ready, as you inhale, you're gonna take your hands up to the sky. We're just doing our basic lotus flow here. So you're gonna exhale, drop your right hand to your right side, reach that left hand up and over. Inhale, come back to center. And then as you exhale, drop your left hand down to your left side, reach your right hand up and over. Inhale, come back up to center. And this time, as you exhale, you're gonna twist to the right, drop your right hand back behind you, take that left hand outside your right knee, and just look over your right shoulder. Untwist here, bring everything back to center. Now we're going to twist the other way. Take your left hand back, take your right hand outside your left knee, look over your left shoulder. Come back to center here, arms sweep up overhead, and then from there you drop them down. Now you're going to reach your hands back behind you. So your fingertips point towards your glutes. Lean back into your palms, pull your shoulder blades together, start to push your chest forward. If you want to go deeper here, you can let your hips lift off the mat, push your knees towards the mat, right? Make it a deeper back bend. You don't have to do that if it doesn't feel good. All right, then wherever you are, let your hips come back down, bring your shoulders over your hips, and sweep your hands back up to the sky. Turn your palms towards the front of the room or the mat, right? Drop your hands down in front of your shins and just walk it forward here. Look as far forward as you can, feeling that stretch in your hips. Maybe your elbows are dropping to the mat. Maybe you just barely brought your hands in front of your shins. All good. Just feel that sensation in your hips. Walk back up. So walk back up here. Now you're going to switch your legs, right? So now you're bringing that other leg in front. It's your more awkward leg. And again, if you got to kick one leg out straight and you're just like this, that's okay. Both legs have to come out straight. It's okay, right? We just want to get the legs, the hips evened out. So that's why we switch legs. Now, when you have that awkward leg in front, right, sometimes your body will fight you, right? Even though you're not thinking about it, you'll be thinking about it. Am I side bending? Am I twisting? Right? But your body will just subconsciously switch your legs back and say, put the more comfortable leg in front, right? So try to stay mindful of that, right? Keep that awkward leg in front. Let your body even out. All right, so here we're going to take our hands up to the sky. And then same thing, as you exhale, drop your right hand to your right side. Reach that left hand up and over. Inhale, bring it all back up. Exhale, drop your left hand. Reach your right hand up and over. Inhale, bring it all back up. This time, as you exhale, you're going to twist to the right. Drop that right hand back behind you. Left hand outside your right knee. Look over your right shoulder. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, take it the other way. Left hand back. Right hand outside your left knee. Look over your left shoulder. Inhale, bring it back up. And then exhale, sweep your hands back behind you. Fingertips towards the glutes. Lean back, pull your shoulder blades together. Push your chest forward. Maybe lift your hips if you like that. Drop everything back down. If you lift it up, shoulders over the hips. Sweep your hands up to the sky. Palms towards the front of the room. Drop your hands down in front of your shins and just walk it out here. more breaths here, right? Maybe you're not going as far here with your awkward leg in front, right? But doing this pose, this last pose, is the main reason why we even switch our legs, right? So we can even out those hips. Take a couple more breaths here. And then walk it on up. All right, now, as we come all the way up here, now you're just gonna kick your legs out straight. Let your hands come to your sides and just patty cake with your legs, up and down, up and down. A little blood flow back into them. Now when you're ready, we're gonna come around here. We're gonna come into that tabletop pose, right? So that's hands and knees. So you're gonna swing the legs back behind you. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Shoulders over the wrists. You want hands shoulder width distance apart, knees hip width distance apart. Now I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this part, right? What we're going to do here, as you're in your tabletop, I want you to take your right foot, and you're just going to pick up your right foot, cross your right ankle over your left, or maybe you're crossing it over your left calf, right? So you're here, you've got that little crisscross with your feet. And then as you have that crisscross, you're just going to do a couple cat-cows, right? So you're going to lift your chin up to the sky, tuck your tailbone under, let your belly drop. And then tuck your chin to your chest, round your back, hold out your armpits, come to cat. So just go back and forth, cow and cat, let your breath guide you here, right? Instead of trying to control your breath to match it to your movements, just let your movements match your breath. Now come to a stop here. Let's switch our legs, right? So take your right foot back over and then just pick up your left foot, cross that left ankle over the right ankle. And then just do a couple cat-cows right here. Cow and cat, cow and cat. All right, now we're gonna come to a stop here. You're in tabletop. Now uncross your legs, right? So here, we're gonna make our way either into pigeon or deer, right? And I know that all of you here in the studio have done this enough that you know which one probably you wanna go to and you know what I'm talking about. But for people who don't, right, the easiest thing to do here, take that right knee, slide it up to your right wrist, and then start to walk your right toes across the mat, right? What you're aiming for here is for your right knee to be right behind your right wrist and your right toes to be right behind your left wrist. It's not gonna happen perfectly like that, right? If you're coming into full pigeon, you tuck those left toes under, start to walk your left leg back so that your left hip comes towards your right heel, right? And then push up. Maybe you come down to your forearms, maybe you come all the way down to your chest and your head. Right, that's pigeon now. If pigeon's not comfortable for you, your option is to come into deer. You let that right hip drop, bend into the left knee. Bring the sole of the right foot and the left knee together. You're still gonna fold over your right shin. Just take a little pressure off, right? So whether you're in pigeon or deer, you could be doing this up on your palms, right? I'm in deer pose. Just got my palms just in front of my shin. You can walk it out a little bit, makes it more. Always drop down to your elbows. You can always drop down to your head and chest. And those options are available to you, whichever one of the poses you're in. All right, let's take another few breaths here. Letting yourself settle in. Now from here, everybody's going to make their way back up to their palms, right? Now, if you're still in pigeon, I want you to let yourself come over, right? And just come down to that right hip and then pull that left knee against the sole of the right foot. So everybody's in that deer position. So we're going to twist here, right? You're going to take your hands down to the outside of your right thigh. I'm turning here so that I can show you guys on camera what it's going to look like. You don't have to move on your mat, right? Doesn't matter which way you're angled, but what you want to happen here is for your hands to be in between your right knee and your right hip. So let your torso turn to the right. And then from there, you start to walk it down. Yeah, it's a great place to use a blanket or a block. If you want to land on it, you're going to be able to get a little bit deeper here. Most people are. Right? Then, when we're going straight into deer or pigeon, just because the hips don't limit you here, right? It's about the twist of your spine than it is about your hips. So it's a little easier to get a little deeper. So let yourself take that extra space. Come down to your elbows if you can. Come down to your chest if you can. That being said, if you need to stay up on your palms, that's fine. All right, now come back up to your palms here. Now, we're going to stay in this deer position. Here's what you're going to do here, right? You're going to sweep that left hand around. Grab a hold of your left ankle. Now, your right hand can stay over here, right? You can come down to your forearm. Sometimes I like to land my forearm right on top of my right knee when I do this, right? You don't have to. It's not comfortable to you. But you're going to pick your left knee up off the mat, right? And then you're going to swing that left knee as far back behind you as you can. So you're swinging it all the way back there. Now, you start to feel a nice stretch in your left quad. Now, you don't have to leave that left knee hanging out in space. You can just drop it down to the mat, right, once you get it back behind you. Right, but you want to create as much space as you can between your left knee and your right foot. So you start to open up. So right now, I'm here with my forearm on the ground. If you need to stay up with on your palm, you can. Because sometimes I have to bring it so that I'm leaning on my right leg. It's all about that left leg. You want to feel that opening in your left quad, in your left hip flexors. Let's just take 4 more breaths here. From there, you're going to pull that left leg back against your right foot. Let yourself come all the way up. right? And as we bring ourselves all the way up, now we're gonna come back around into tabletop. So we can do those same poses from the other side, right? So you bring yourself into tabletop. This time, it's your left shin that's gonna come across the mat. So you're pulling that left knee up towards your left wrist, and then walking those left toes across towards the right side of your body. Right? Now, from here, if you want to go to pigeon, you just start to move that right knee back, and I'm dropping my right hip here towards my left heel. My right leg is perfectly straight. You untuck your toes, put your foot flat on the ground. Right? That's pigeon. You push up, and then maybe you come down. Pigeon, again, it's not great for you, but what you're going to do, you're going to let yourself come all the way down to your left hip. Pull that right knee in against the sole of your left foot, and then you're going to fold over your left shin still, right? So whether you're in pigeon or deer, right, this is important. You want your hands to be in between your left ankle and your left knee, and then you just walk it out from there. Take our longest time in this pose because you really want to let those hips open up. All right, ready here. Let's come up to our palms, right? If you're not in DR already, now you're gonna let that left hip come down and pull the sole of the right foot against that left inner thigh. Now, we're gonna twist here to the left. So you're turning your chest to the left, bringing your hands so they're in between your left knee and your left hip. Now, and again, you can stay on your palms, maybe you just walk them a little bit further away from your body. Maybe you can get down to your forearms. Maybe you can get your chest and your head all the way down to the mat. Find your spot here. Again, perfect place to use your blanket or a block, kind of like as a landing place for your hands, right? Or as a landing place for your head. here. Come all the way up. We're gonna turn around. Now, grab a hold of your right ankle with your right hand, right? And again, that left hand can just be braced outside your left thigh. You can come down to your left forearm. Maybe put that left forearm on your left knee, but you're picking up your right knee and then swinging it as far back behind you as you can, and then let it drop down. So you want to feel that opening in your right hip flexor. Feel it in your right quad too. I should say that. Most people feel it more in their right quad.
Yeah.
I just tend to feel it more in my hip flexor, so I say that. You have to be like, God, I'm really feeling my quad. Am I not supposed to be? Yes, you are. Let's take 4 more breaths here. And pull that right knee back in against your foot, and then push yourself all the way up. Now this time, as we come all the way up here, you're just going to take both legs, swing them around so they're straight in front of you. All right, and we're going to come into just a basic seated forward fold here. Now, you can do just a basic forward fold with your legs extended. Take your hands up to the sky, fold, right? Maybe you can grab your toes and that feels good to you, go for it. You don't have to, your hands can be on your ankles, your shins, your knees. Sometimes in Yin, we got a little bit longer. I like to use the block or the blanket, right? You're just gonna slide it, or even a bolster if you have one, right underneath your knees. And then so that you've got that slight elevation of your knees. And then you can just kind of slither forward. Right? And it makes it a little kinder, a little gentler. Now you don't have to do that, right? If you like to extend your legs as long as you can, fold as far forward as you can, then that's what you should do. Try to keep your back straight here, right? Don't tuck your chin and try to drive your head down, right? Wherever you are, just bring that chest forward. Couple more breaths here. I'm ready. Slowly start to peel up. All right. Now, from here, we're going to come into a pose. It's called square pose. We've done it, but it's been a little while. All right, what we're going to do here, you're going to bend. Let's start with the left knee. So you're going to bend into your left knee. Bring that left shin across your mat, just like you did in that pigeons last year, right? Now, there's lots of different ways to do square, right? The traditional way, you would take your right knee, bend into your right leg, you're gonna put your right ankle on top of your left knee, so that right foot is hanging off the left knee, right? Now, if I had perfect flexibility, which I do not, obviously, right, that right knee would be right on top of the left foot, and I'd have this perfect square with my legs. That's why we call it square pose, right? It doesn't happen for most of us, right? If it's happening for any of you, then you should stay right here, right? Sometimes when you have this big space in there, and people say, oh, you put the block in that space, right? Give yourself some support. My space is almost too big for the block, right? You could do that too, right? But one easy modification to make, you take the block, you put it right in front of your left knee, and then instead of putting your right foot right on top of your right knee, of your left knee, you slide it and you put it on top of the block. And that made my legs a lot more even, right? There's not nearly as much space now between my right knee and my left foot. Now, one thing I don't want you to do, right, if you're doing this pose, you don't take your right foot and put those toes in the crease of your left knee, because then you're like, oh, okay, I can get all the way down. But that's not the pose. This is like almost a version of lotus pose, and that's not what we're doing, right? You want that foot to be hanging off if you're putting that foot on your knee. And so for a lot of people, this is comfortable with the foot hanging off, right? If that's you, I want you to go there. If the block makes it feel better, use the block. If you hate this either way, right, there are other options. You can, like I said, just come into easy sit, like we did at the beginning of class, right, with your right leg in front. Or you can take that left leg, kick it out, and just bend into your right knee and just do a little half butterfly, right? So these are all your options here. I want it to be comfortable because we're gonna do a couple different things while our legs are in this position, all right? So I want you to find somewhere where it's comfortable to you. Now, first thing we're gonna do here, you're gonna take your hands up to the sky, reach them up, and then just drop your right hand to your right side like we did in that easy sit, and right, maybe you're in easy sit now. We're taking a side bend to the right. Then you're gonna come back up here. Now, from here, you're gonna take your hands back behind you. Just drop your fingertips to the mat back behind you. So you can see my right hand here, right? My fingertips are on the mat. And then you're gonna pull your shoulder blades together, push your chest forward, start to bend your elbows so that you lean back and look up. And then from there, push into those fingertips, let your arms straighten, bring your shoulders back over your hips. Now you take your hands up to the sky, and then from here, right, this is where we hold. We just drop those hands down in front of the right shin. And you start to walk it forward here. Okay? If by some miracle you can come down to your elbows, then you should do that. Right? For some people, me included, it's enough just to get those hands over the shin. You start to feel it already. Right? It's a deep stretch in the hips, mostly in the right hip. That's where you're going to feel it. 2 more breaths here. And slowly bring it back up. All right, now we have to do that on the other side, right? So you're gonna take both legs around. So you're just in a hook line, right? And then you're gonna slide. This time that right leg is gonna stay down. So you slide that right foot over towards the left side of your mat. Let that right knee come all the way down. So the right foot's the left side of the mat, right knee's down on the right side of the mat. There we go. Now I said that right. And again, here's your options. You can take your left foot, let your left ankle come on top of your right knee and let your left knee hang out, right? I got even more space here. Again, if it feels comfortable to you, put the block there. It's supposed to give you a little bit of support, right? You can see me try to do it. It's awkward because I have so much space, especially on this side, right? But for some of you who have left space, this might be the way to go, right? With that block in there or a blanket or something. Maybe you feel perfectly comfortable with that knee just hanging out. You're gonna bring your hands forward and out and back, and that feels good. Then you can stay right here, right? Again, your other options, you take the block in front of your right knee and you slide that left ankle out to the block. So you're here, less space now between my left knee and my right foot. Right? Your other option is just to come to easy sit with your left leg in front. Right? Your other option is to kick that right leg all the way out and just keep that left foot against the sole, against the right inner thigh in a half butterfly position. All right, so find what's gonna be the most comfortable to you. Right now we've done it on the one leg, so you know what we're gonna do, how it's gonna feel, how long we're gonna be there, right? You know the answer to all those questions now, mostly. Take your hands up to the sky, and we take that side bend to the left at first here, just dropping that left hand down, reach that right hand up and over. And you're gonna rise back up. Now take your hands back behind you, fingertips to the mat, right? Pull your shoulder blades together, open your chest, start to look up, bend your elbows so you can lean back. And then come all the way up, sweep your arms up overhead, turn your palms towards the front of the room, drop your hands down in front of that left shin, and then you're gonna walk it forward here. Now let yourself come back up here. Unwind those legs in. Now, you're gonna put those legs straight in front of you, and we're gonna lay down on our back. So take your toes up to the top of your mat. Let yourself roll all the way down to the mat. Take your feet out wide. Again here. Right? And we're going to do another couple windshield wipes. So you're taking your arms out to a T, and your knees drop right, bringing you back to center. And you'll drop left, just like we did at the beginning. And then come to a stop here. Now, extend everything long. This one. Banana stretch, right? And I'm trying to angle myself so you can see my whole body in the camera, but it's hard. Okay, so we're laying down. Your arms are overhead. Now we're going to go over to the right first. So you're going to walk your hands. Is there something else All right, walk your hands over to the right. Grab a hold of your left wrist with your right hand. So you're kind of pulling that left hand behind your head. Right now your feet are also going to walk over to the right. So both feet going over to the right. And then as your feet walk over to the right, maybe you can pick up your left foot, still on the camera, and hook your left ankle over your right knee. So it looks like that. So everything's going over to the right, but you didn't lift your left shoulder up off the mat. You didn't lift your right hip up off the mat, or your left hip, sorry, right? Those are still down. You're just curving everything to the right. Stay here for a minute. Not picking your left arm up off the ground, you're just kind of pulling it behind your head. You feel this all opening all in your left side body. Right now from here, unhook that foot. You're going to start to walk your feet over to the left. Start to walk your arms over to the left. So you release your hands, right? So now you're walking those hands, you're walking that right hand back behind your head. Grab a hold of your right wrist with your left hand, pull it to the left, and then pick up your right foot. Hook that right foot over your left ankle. So you're in that banana curve to the left. So you feel that opening in your right side body. Again, that right shoulder, right hip. Stay anchored. press here. Here, we're going to unwind. Okay, so you're just here, flat on your back. I'm going to come around over here. All right, so last pose, for a long time, as we tried to do this one. Been probably forever, whatever, since I tried to do it on camera, so we'll see if it works. Right? But you're going to come here. Now, you're going to take your arms out to a T, but turn your palms face up. All right? Let your left leg go long. Take your right knee into your chest. Right. Now from here, you're just going to let that right knee go over to the left. Right. So you want that left knee to come all the way to the ground. So you might be rolling kind of over on to your left hip. Now take your right hand, bring it all the way over. Right. So it's going to come around and your right hand is going to land on top of your left. Right. So now you've got that right knee to the ground. Now, what we're going to do here, you're going to take your right hand and you're going to open back up, right? See if you can keep that right knee where it is. Let your chest face up towards the ceiling. See if you can get the back of that right hand down to the ground, right? Your right shoulder might not be on the ground. If you can get it to the ground, that's great. Your right elbow might not be to the ground. So you're in this single knee twist, basically, with your arms open wide and your chest up to the ceiling. All right, now from here, pull that right knee back up, right? So let yourself fully back over onto your back. Hug that right knee all the way into your chest. Right, so take both hands, just wrap it around that right knee, hug it in. And let's switch out here. So you're gonna let that right leg go out long. You're gonna take both arms out to a T with your palms face up. All right, now from here, we're gonna take that left knee, hug it into the chest, and then let that left knee come over to the right. So you're going to pick your left arm up now, right? So it comes and rainbows around. So you roll over onto your right hip so that left knee can hit the ground, left palm snaps on top of the right. So right now everything's facing towards the right. But then you're going to take your left arm, now you're going to open it back up. Bring it open. Let that back of that left hand come to the mat. Maybe press that left elbow and left shoulder down if you can. Right, so you're trying to get your chest open towards the ceiling, looking straight up at the ceiling, while that left knee comes towards the earth. Right. So you're going to feel it. It's a twist, right? You're going to feel it in your left hip, but you're also going to feel it right through your shoulder girdle. If you're really opening those arms up and keeping that chest facing the ceiling. final hug into your chest. And then let that left leg cut long. Right, so now you're lying flat on your back. We're going to come to our final pose here, our Shavasana. So you decide how you want to take your Shavasana. You can take it lying on your back, right? If you have a blanket and you want to put that under your head or under your knees, or put your block underneath your knees, right? Those are options. You can roll to your belly, roll to your side, bend your knees, put your feet on the ground. All sorts of options open to you, right? I want you to find somewhere where you're super comfortable, where you're going to be able to stay perfectly still, and where your mind is going to be able to go perfectly quiet. Totally forget that I need to spray your towels. And so I'm going to come spray a little sea salt on your towel. If you're here. Bring that towel over your eyes if you have one. If not, you're just going to close your eyes. Come to that place where you've released the breath completely. It's guiding you. Your full focus is still on it, so you can notice it and observe it. That way you allow yourself to follow it. You allow it to guide you right to a place where there's nothing left in your mind but you and your breath. That's your true quiet of the mind. slowly start to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, feeling that increased sensation that comes with the quiet mind. If you want to here, take your arms overhead. Take a nice full, deep body stretch. And then just roll over onto your right side in a fetal position. Take a couple breaths right there just to reacclimate to our space. Let the sights, the sounds of the room come back to you. Take as long as you need right here. Then when you're ready, only when you're ready, push yourself up to seated, and we will close here. So let's close with our 2 Mari breaths and then an Om. We're going to inhale as we exhale, make that little humming sound in the back of the throat. We'll do that twice, that's the Mari breath. And then on the 3rd time, we'll do an Om, using all parts of the throat. You can join me in the breaths or you can just listen. Let's close our eyes here. We'll inhale together. Inhaling again. And then we'll inhale one final time and Om. Let your eyes drift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your energy, your practice with me this evening. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste.
Namaste.
I will see everybody on Saturday for some slow flow. Otherwise, Angie's going to be here tomorrow morning for some more yin if you want that. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your night. Hi, Gwen, if you're still there.